We are going to talk about some of the different ways in which open contact may begin to occur on your world. We are going to talk about the idea of what you can do to accelerate this for your own experience. We are going to talk about the idea of what it means for your planet to experience the beginning stages of contact. I am, and we are, representative of a much larger group than many of you may imagine. This group contains not only other extraterrestrial beings, but spirit guides, soul families, angelic beings, interdimensional forms of consciousness, and so on. There are literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands of beings involved in these transmissions. Thousands upon thousands of beings involved in different things going on your planet, watching, observing, and in many ways, participating. Our participation is about to become more physical. You will see over the course of the next few years increases in what you call UFO sightings, UAP sightings, to get you used to the idea that there is a lot of traffic around your planet. There are a lot of portals through which many ships pass, many beings come and go. Many of you ask, where are these portals? And we have talked about some of the main ones that exist on your planet that some of you already know about, such as the location in which we are now beaming this transmission of Sedona, Arizona. But in reality, if you wish a simplistic analogy, your world, your reality is quite a lot like Swiss cheese. It's full of holes, full of portals. There are ships coming and going all the time. There's a lot of traffic around your world. As you increase your vibration, as you broaden your bandwidth, so to speak, by acting on your passion, raising your frequency, becoming a better receiver, a better antenna of higher frequency information and experience, then your senses can extend to the point where you can begin to see many of the things that were heretofore invisible to you, that have been around you all the time. And this not only includes the idea of extraterrestrial spacecraft, but also the idea of spirit beings. Because everything is here and now, right here, right now, all overlapping, separated only by the concept of different frequencies. So don't be too shocked and too surprised when you start perceiving other beings that others may say are not there. You're not crazy. Well, you are, but in a good way. So do not be too surprised as you see an increase in spirit shapes, in causal plane geometrics, in energy streams, in UFOs, in interdimensional beings, in angelic energies, so on and so forth. You have arrived at the place now where you have been preparing and preparing and preparing. And now it starts to, as you say, pay off. The vibration of the new cycle is increasing. The waves are coming faster and faster. And as you raise your vibration, you will catch up to those waves and be pushed along, pulled along, riding those waves toward the experience of open contact, not only with extraterrestrials, but with other beings, other spirits, and of course, as always, more of yourself. Because that's what this is all about, becoming more of who you truly are. Over the course of the next few years, there will be certain things that will occur that will let you know that contact is about to happen. Not only in terms of an increase in sightings, but also in the way in which this may occur. There are several paths that may be taken, by extraterrestrial beings, such as ourselves and others, to begin to initiate you into becoming familiar with our presence in a physical way. One of those ways may be something like this. Ships may appear over your oceans just offshore, so that you know the ship will stay there over the water. You may watch it from shore. It will not move. You will not feel in any way, shape, or form threatened because it is not coming over your heads, over land where you are, but remaining at arm's length out over the water, so that it gives you time to absorb the fact that they are there, off the coastlines of different countries around your world. They may be there for quite some time to allow you the opportunity to gather, to travel to those places, to see the ships. We understand that sometimes they may be surrounded by some of your aerial vehicles, such as helicopters and so on and so forth. But that will all just be part of the show. They will remain there to give you time to get used to the idea that we are here. To get used to the idea that this is the beginning of a great change upon your planet, of a great change in your society. To give you time to discuss among yourselves how you will respond to this change. Take your time. It's fine. There's no hurry. There's no rush. We're not going anywhere. One way may be that you will start to see more orbs of light, which not only can be representative of spirit entities, but also are actually a type of extraterrestrial energy probe. So you may see some of these orbs descend and again remain fixed in a particular position that is non-threatening, giving you time to observe them, to record them, to discuss them, to start to understand that they are there as now something that can become a relatively permanent fixture in your reality, to broaden your understanding of what reality is. Between the ships and the orbs, it may give you an opportunity to start really letting in the idea that everything is about to change. And beyond that, one of the most important things to understand is this. Your society, your world, will be introduced by different organizations and factions of your governments, will be introduced to extraterrestrials within the next 5 years. At the outside. At first, it will probably be most likely Pleiadians. Then, followed by hybrids. After that, we shall see what you are ready for. The next 5 years is not so far away. There will be certain things that will happen before that, as we have already said. Sometime around the end of 2026, the beginning of 2027, there will be things that will happen that will allow you to know you are not alone. That will start to wake you up, open you up to the idea that things are about to change in a dramatic way on your planet. To give you the opportunity to decide which way you are going to go, which direction you prefer, what kind of a reality you prefer to experience, and what you wish it to contain. The idea of being introduced to full disclosure, the introduction of literal physical extraterrestrials to your society within the next 5 years may seem very quick to some of you. But it isn't. Because preparation has been going on for a long time. This is just the final stages, the end result of what has already been going on behind the scenes, that many people on your planet aren't aware of. Extraterrestrials of various types have already been working with some of your scientists for decades to create certain things, to introduce certain ideas, certain technologies. So, contact, in a sense, has already happened and has been going on. It just hasn't been that open yet. So the last stages of contact is open contact, even though contact has already been going on. And in fact, of course, with certain indigenous cultures on your planet, it has been actually happening for thousands of years. Because it is ingrained in their culture. They know. They know and have been interacting with relatives from the stars. Allow yourselves to understand that it is simply the nature of what you might refer to as your Western culture that is the last to know. But that's all right. You have your path. And this is now the place where your path starts to intersect with all the other paths, all the other stories. And the stories now come to light, and the stories now become real, and what you are actually going to live. So, it is approaching the time, the end of one cycle, when what has been going on behind the scenes can now come to the forefront, can now come into the light, so that introductions can occur within the next 5 years to allow humanity to start accelerating within a 3-decade window that began in your year of 2020 and will end in your year of 2050, that will allow you to transition from being an isolated civilization, relatively speaking, to one that is becoming a member of a galactic society. You will be taking your place over this 30-year reset of humanity and accelerating forward in the evolution that you all agreed to plan out with us together, that will allow you to truly take your place among the cosmos, among the stars. One of the gifts, as we have said before, that will be given to you during open contact will be holographic recordings of your complete history, going back thousands upon thousands of years. You will be able to see what Atlantis looked like. You will be able to see many of the civilizations that have existed on Earth that you know nothing about. It will be the history that will be appropriate for the present in which you will exist. It will be the history that will reinforce where you are going into the future. It will be the history that you need to know where you have come from, who you are now, and where you are going. It will be the history that will open your eyes to the agreements you all made with all of us to evolve humanity, to reset humanity in the direction of light and love and joy. It will be something that your children, grandchildren will look back on as the time of transformation, the reset of humanity, and they will look back upon Earth from the ships they will be riding in and know that the entire planet is truly their home. There will be no thought of the idea of borders. There will be different cultures, and they will be cherished and validated, and they will thrive. But there will be a mix of many cultures, humans, hybrids, other extraterrestrials. You will finally, as a planet, become a true melting pot of the galaxy. For there are many stories playing out on Earth. Stories of ancient Orion, stories of ancient Mars, stories of ancient Atlantis. Many stories coming to fruition, playing out to create different endings, more positive endings than those that occurred before in history. All playing out here, for Earth is the place where it all comes together. It doesn't mean that there aren't other places similar to Earth, but Earth is one of the most densely populated places for these kinds of stories, which is why it's so exciting for all of us to watch you. So many stories overlapping, so many transformations that express your power as a soul, as a spirit, to have been powerful enough to decide, yes, I'm going to participate in this transformational school, in this graduating class that is Earth, because this is where it's at. This is where great change and great transformation will accelerate our souls to incredible heights and allow us to truly birth a new civilization. A new Earth is being born right here, right now. And you are all its caretakers and midwives. All of you. We thank you deeply for your courage, for your strength, for your power, for your foresight, for your creativity, and for your love. Think now and imagine now how your lives are capable of changing over the next 5 years. How the introduction of extraterrestrials, the true physical existence on your planet of such beings, will change what you know or not change what you know. What will be affected in your lives? What will not? What will be enhanced? What will not? For it's still in your hands, and it's still up to you as to what direction you wish to take yourselves. It's still your world in that context. It's still your playground. So, think about what you would prefer the presence, our presence, to mean to you. Our physical presence on your planet to mean to what happens to your society. Think deeply about it. Take your time. Even though 5 years is not very far away, there is time. Think about it now. Knowing this is going to occur. What will change in your life? How will you change your lives knowing this is about to happen? What directions will you decide to go in that you may not have decided to go in before, knowing that this is going to happen in 5 years? You can take your time, but again, no, it's not so very far away. 5 years when you are acting on your passion can pass in a blink, and before you know it, we will be standing by your side, standing in front of you, asking, who have you decided to be? Who are you with yourself, and who are you with us? Each and every single one of you has a team behind you. You have spirit guides, you have angelic beings, you have soul families. Each of you have hundreds and some thousands of beings that are all at your back, that have your back, that are giving you guidance, that are urging you and encouraging you to move forward to be yourselves. This is not an accident. The reason that you are exploring consciousness as you are is because it is the end of one cycle and the beginning of the next, and the time that you have been waiting for so long is finally here. All of a sudden in front of you. Unfolding in the next 5 years. So get ready. Don't be caught unawares. Don't be caught by surprise. Oh, I didn't know you were going to show up so soon. I'm not quite ready for this yet. What does this mean for my life? What's going to change? What's not going to change? What do I do? Get ready now. For 5 years is not so far away. And I said, actually, within the next 5 years. So, allow yourselves to look at your lives. Allow yourselves to look at your souls. Allow yourselves to be who you truly are. Because that is who we will interact with, who you truly are. So the idea to understand is, while contact is still going to occur, is still inevitable within the next 5 of your years, we gave you that window of 5 years because there was movability, flexibility within that window. Due to reactions and responses that we received and picked up and observed in the collective energy of your society with respect to the comments that were made in our transmission, we have determined that there is now a high degree of probability that what we first suggested would occur at the end of your 2026 and the beginning of your 2027 may now occur somewhere more around your 2028 or 29. Because we now have to assess exactly, based on what we have picked up from all of you, exactly how and why contact will occur on your planet. It will still happen, but the reasons for it, the style of it, may change somewhat due to our observation and assessment of information that people on your planet are capable or not capable of handling. You have entered the age of what you term the oligarchs. The people that you choose to put into positions within your governments that you elect are not the people that are, in your terms, running things. It almost does not matter who you have elected, for there are many things going on behind the scenes that will come out in certain ways at certain times that will allow you to recognize how your world is really run and allow you the opportunity to work together, to talk to each other, to finally communicate instead of divide, instead of being divisive, instead of sticking to your own opinions, instead of basing them on fears, to finally break down the barriers and allow yourself not to be on one side or the other of the glass wall that creates the splitting prism, but to be the glass wall, to allow communication to flow in both directions, to get at the crux of the issues deep down and to not be afraid to talk to each other, to discuss with each other, to learn from each other, to hear each other, to commune with each other. Remember, a habit and a pattern is something you don't know you're doing by definition. Once you become aware of the pattern and the habit, you don't have it anymore. You have to be beyond it to know it was there. Because while you're in it, you don't see it as a habit. You understand?
I do.
Therefore, you have a definition in your society that once you become aware of a habit, you still now have to do something to let it go. Becoming aware of the habit is the end of the process of letting it go, not the beginning. And if you know that, then you will see that it is gone. If it still continues, what that means is you still have another belief you haven't found that says that for some reason you have to keep choosing to do something you don't prefer to do. Find that belief and let that one go. And if you still are behaving the same way, you still haven't found the core belief. Keep digging. When you truly find the core belief that underlies all those secondary beliefs and truly let that go, then you will see no more of that in your behavior, because you will stop choosing it, because it will make no sense to choose it anymore, because it has nothing to do with you anymore.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Please remember, you do not do anything that you don't on some level choose to do. It always comes out in your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors. They are always the signal about what you believe to be true. And you then have the opportunity to use those behaviors, those thoughts, those feelings, to trace them back to what belief you must be holding on to generate those feelings, those thoughts, those behaviors. Just keep digging. Eventually you will find the core belief. But remember, this is the tricky thing about negative beliefs in particular. All beliefs will do whatever they can. They're designed to do whatever they can to reinforce themselves and make it seem as if no other belief is possible, because that's the only way you can actually experience a reality reflection of a particular belief, is they have to seem real and reinforce themselves to seem like nothing else is real. So when you're dealing with positive beliefs, that's not really an issue, because you don't care that the positive belief and the positive reality seems real. You follow me?
Yes.
But the idea is that when the negative belief uses the same methodology to reinforce itself and make it seem as if no other belief can take its place, now you start feeling the idea of the tricks and the tools that the negative belief uses to induce fear in you to not choose any other belief. You see, when you're dealing with positive beliefs, they allow you to choose negative beliefs if you want to, because they're positive. But when you're dealing with a negative belief, it's going to use whatever tool or trick it can to stop you from choosing a positive belief because it's negative. That's how it works. But if you know it's just a belief and you know you can change it because it's just a belief, then you have the skeleton key that always will unlock the idea of whatever a negative belief may be telling you to believe is true, when it's nothing but lies, smoke, and mirrors, just to get you to keep believing in the negative belief because it's doing its job in doing that. So you need the skeleton key of just knowing that no matter how bad it feels, no matter how fearful it may feel, the idea of changing or letting go of that belief, it's just a belief. And in fact, the stronger the fear to change gets, that's when you know you're closest to changing. Because that shows you that the negative belief is using every single one of its tricks and tools to get you to not change. It is pushing as hard as it can to make you as terrified as it can of changing. So when you are right at that brink of absolute terror, you are right on the edge of absolute freedom. Yes, you have that saying, it's always darkest before the dawn. Yes?
Yes.
Well, this is how negative beliefs work. They will make things seem very dark, very formidable, very fearful, very dreary, very dangerous to get you to not let them go. But when you start feeling that, you just need to keep going. I'm not saying you can't feel the fear. It's okay to feel the fear. You can acknowledge it, but you just have to know that that's just the lie that the negative belief is telling you to get you to not let it go. You have to know it's just a belief and just a trick. This is where the religious phrase comes from, the father of lies. It's just the negative belief system. That's all it is. It's going to lie to you. It has to lie to you to get you to believe something about yourself that just isn't true. You're unworthy. You don't deserve. You're incapable. You will be intimidated. Watch out, that's dangerous. These are all lies, but it has to tell lies because what it's telling you isn't the truth. And the only way to get you to pay attention to the lie is make you feel scared enough that you will not allow yourself to believe the truth. You are worthy, you are deserving, you are brilliant, you are beautiful, you are creative, you are loved.
It's just doing its job. It's not being malicious. It's just how it's designed. But when you grow up and you know that, and you handle it in an adult way, you will know, all right, you're doing your job. Thank you very much. I'm very scared. Ooh. You've done a brilliant job of attempting to prevent me from moving in a direction I prefer. Well done. I applaud you. You're a brilliant negative belief. And now you've done your job and you can relax because I'm choosing something else. Thank you very much. You choose what you prefer without invalidating what you don't. Because invalidating what you don't prefer keeps you on the negative side, which is exactly what the negative belief wants you to do. Yes, please invalidate me. Come on back. This way, this side of the line. Go ahead, judge me, invalidate me, because all you're doing is judging and invalidating yourself again, and oh boy, I've got more to work with. You following this train of thought?
Yes, I continually reinvest in a negative belief by resisting it or criticizing it or attacking it.
Absolutely. And when you invest, to use your word, in a negative belief, the only thing that can happen is depreciation. Yes? But when you invest in the positive belief, appreciation. So what we are talking about working on here today with the concept of flipping the switch and using the concept of your shifting through parallel realities to get a better bead on the idea, a more precise understanding of the idea of manifesting the parallel reality you prefer, is to focus on the idea of creating a greater degree of difference than you normally do, so that you will be able to feel the shift, to see the shift, to perceive the shift more viscerally, more concretely. And the idea, thus then, is to allow yourself the opportunity to let go of the definitions that you have been brought up to believe are necessary for the labeling and defining and designing of the parallel realities that you do already automatically experience, so that you can design, in a sense, the parallel reality that is more in alignment with the parallel realities or sequence of parallel realities that you prefer, that are more representative of your true nature, your true core frequency, your true natural self, your true vibration. Here's what you can begin to do. Just have an overall image, an overall representation of your life as it is. In whatever way that comes to you, just to paint a picture, like you're looking at a movie screen if you wish, and just see up on that screen, see yourself, see an image of you, going about the things that you are already doing in life. Nothing different than what you're already doing. It can be anything on a day-to-day basis, this and that, big or small, doesn't matter. Just see yourself as you are. Now, when you are ready, blank the screen, wipe the screen. Now, replace it with an image of yourself going about your day-to-day business in what you consider to be, for now, your preferred, desired, ideal reality, your ideal life. Fill that movie screen with your image and look at all the things, create all the things in it that are representative of what the things are you would be going about doing in your ideal life, your ideal reality. Some of them may be the same. Some of them may be different. Whatever it is, just take a look at it. Now, in your mind's eye, put those two screens side by side or one above the other. Look at one screen that represents your life as it is. Look at the other image on the other screen that represents your life as you would prefer it to be. Notice the differences. Notice the differences. Notice the similarities, but notice the differences. Whatever differences you noticed, from small to large, are the things that represent vibrationally, symbolically, representationally, that ideal life. Whatever symbol you conjured up represents vibrationally that preferred parallel reality. Because that is a real, already existing parallel reality. And that version of you in that reality already exists as a real person in that universe, in that reality, which is a completely different reality than the screen that represents your life as it is right now. Again, allow yourself to remember the differences, but understand that these two realities coexist right now, simultaneously, interpenetrated, overlapping, only separated by the slightest difference in vibrational energy. Now, it may be a slight difference, but if the picture looks very different, then it is a difference that is enough of a difference in vibration that you are noticing the difference. And that's the key. Different enough that you notice the difference. Different enough so that it's not in your mind, as you are used to experiencing, a smooth continuity from one second to the next, but would be representative of some time passing in between. In other words, some of you might see the image of the life as it is now, see the image of the life that you prefer, and you might automatically find yourself assuming that it would require some span of time in order for one to change to the other. The thing to understand is that it actually, in a sense, requires less time than you think, and in fact actually uses no time at all. When you decide, when you choose to actually be that person in that reality, it will happen instantaneously as a shift from whatever parallel reality you were experiencing a moment before that. But you can create the illusion of process, the illusion of time lag, the illusion of linear continuity to make it seem as if it's taking time to become or experience that reality. But that reality exists right now. So manifestation in this context is simply the degree to which you are willing to allow the definition, no matter how different it looks, to actually be real right now. To know that it exists right now, and most importantly, in this particular permission slip, to be willing to actually be that person in that representation right now. When you go back now and look at the two images you created, and if you see differences in them, one of the differences you will probably see is a difference in how you behave in the two realities. Many people on your planet, when they imagine themselves going through their day-to-day existence as it is now, and then imagine themselves going through their day-to-day existence in the reality they prefer, will suddenly realize there is a great degree of difference in your behavior, in your body language, in what you're wearing, in your attitude, in your energy. Look at the difference in you in those two images. It is important to understand the following. This principle is paramount here. You cannot experience what you are not already the vibration of. So the idea is, if you see that version of you in that preferred ideal reality doing certain things, the you are now is not capable of experiencing those things unless you actually start being the person in that image. If you don't behave like that person, dress like that person, talk like that person, walk like that person, think like that person, feel like that person, you will not experience the things that person is experiencing, because that is not just a different version of you. It is a different person, literally, entirely. And you, the greater you, as a consciousness, can shift between the person you're experiencing yourself to be now and the person that is represented in that ideal scenario. That you, the bigger you, the consciousness that you are, will be the same, but the person, the physical construct, the temporary personality that you consider yourself to be as a physical being will literally not be the same person, because you are not the same person from moment to moment to moment to moment. As we already said, billions and billions of times a second, you're actually becoming literally, quite literally, not metaphorically, quite literally a new person billions of times a second. The idea again here is to pay attention consciously to the fact that you can design the person, design the reality to be different enough so that you can actually tell the difference, that it is really a different reality, a different you, a different universe. And that's what this exercise is designed to do, is look at the differences so that you can know that when you shift, you're shifting totally, utterly, totally, and instantaneously. There is no real time lag at all between becoming one reality and another, between experiencing yourself as one person and another. None whatsoever. But you can create this continuity, this illusion that there is, or you can start to let that go. Now, it will not let go entirely, of course, as long as you still have a reason to experience the physical reality idea at all. We are not talking about eliminating it completely, although from time to time, as you do these kinds of exercises, as you gain this kind of insight and this kind of knowledge, you may find space and time becoming a little more slippery. You may find things happening very rapidly, maybe sometimes even instantaneously here and there. This will be somewhat sporadic, but it can accelerate. Nevertheless, you will still retain some sense of space-time in order to have a context in which to experience the idea you call physical reality, but you can allow your experience of it to become something far more different than what you're experiencing now, accelerate it far more rapidly than what you're experiencing now. Again, not literally accelerating it. When I say accelerate it, I mean experience as if you were accelerating, because you're already shifting as fast as you can. You're already shifting totally. So you can't shift more than you do. You can't shift faster than you do. What you can change is your perception, your experience of the idea, so that you can become aware of the fact that you are shifting totally, shifting instantaneously. That's the whole idea to this exercise, to become aware of the fact that you're already shifting totally, already shifting instantaneously, and you can't go any faster. The way, as we said, to recognize that is to create a parallel reality that is different enough that you notice that you're shifting immediately and totally. So the idea is, as you see that image and you see that version of you there, start from this moment forward, from this day forward. Start being, start behaving, start mimicking that version of you. Because that's what your imagination, that's what your visualization is for, is to create the state. Because if you really, really are having an image in your mind that's representative of your ideal reality, not only will the version of you in that picture look excited, you'll start to feel excited about that reality. You'll feel that energy now. It will start to leak into you from that image. That's what it's for. That's its job, to put you in the proper state that is representative of the ideal reality, no matter how that reality actually will appear physically.
When we change negative beliefs, we tend to receive some trial, a test from the universe. And I myself have an experience that I changed my negative belief, and I was sure that I changed that belief, but people say you may receive a test or you haven't changed, so I tend to lose my self-confidence. Even though I was trying to ask you a question, but as I talk, I think I found the answer already, but I would like to confirm with you again that there is no such thing like a test or trial.
Thank you. Very good. The idea is what we have discussed earlier in our talk. For we mentioned earlier that when you change your belief, you will sometimes give yourself a test. It isn't coming from the universe. And it isn't really even a test. You are just making sure that you actually have the conviction of the new belief. And the so-called test that many people make for themselves is to then go into a similar situation than they experienced before, just to see if they act differently, to know that they really have changed. So perhaps in the spirit of the idea that you are discovering for yourself, let's not call it a test so much as an opportunity to see that you really have changed your belief. It's an opportunity to practice what you say you have changed into. But people are doing that to themselves. It's not coming from anywhere else in the universe. Is this what you pretty much figured out on your own?
Not really.
What did you figure out?
As I listened to your lecture, communication, I came to be a certain state that there is no such thing like a test.
Yes, this is what I just said. I said it's not really a test, it's an opportunity to practice what you say you now believe. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, I got it.
Does that then align more with what you understood?
Yes.
There really are no tests in that sense. You are creating your own reality, and you are giving yourself an opportunity to decide at any given moment whether you really believe you are who you say you are. That's all that's happening. Thank you for your sharing.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
My question is, I feel such a strong resistance to love myself. I am out of that state.
You mean you are no longer resisting, or you are resisting?
Maybe that I cannot myself. I am in that state.
You are still resisting loving yourself. Is that what you are saying?
I think so.
All right. So based on what we spoke of earlier, you can understand that your resistance then must be coming from a belief or a definition equation within your personality, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Well, have you spent some time looking for or attempting to discover what that belief would be?
When I try to take a close look at that belief, I tend to feel irritated or anger.
All right. Well, then there might yet be even another belief in your way first. In other words, you might be saying, self-examination is scary and or irritating. And
right.
So with that belief doesn't even let you get to the next belief. So deal with the first belief first. Keep this technique simple. Whatever seems to be the first obstacle in your way towards understanding yourself, that's representative of a belief that you must deal with first. So find out what definition you would have to believe in order for it to be irritating to look at your other beliefs. It could be many things. Maybe you are afraid to look at all the other beliefs because maybe you are afraid you'll find so many negative beliefs that you will think you are not a good person. So maybe you have a belief that makes you even afraid to look. But again, all of these things are just definitions. They're not true in and of themselves. They're only true as long as you believe in them. So can you get in touch with what kind of a belief you would have to have in order to be irritated by the fact that you are trying to look for your other beliefs? What first comes up?
I hate myself.
Oh, all right. Hate yourself. Why do you hate yourself?
No.
What belief do you have about yourself that makes you feel the emotion of hate? Because remember, emotion comes from belief. You are providing a very beautiful example for everyone else in this communication because you are showing how you can use your emotions also and trace them back to find beliefs. So thank you for your willingness to be this example. Nothing goes to waste. Everything serves a positive purpose if you want it to. So together we will even turn your self-hatred into a positive lesson for you and everyone. So let's ask now, what would you have to believe is true about yourself in order for you to feel hate for yourself? So you would say, for example, I hate myself because I believe I am what? Let's find the equation. So finish that equation. I hate myself because I believe I am what?
Useless.
All right. I hate myself because I believe I am useless. Say the whole equation out loud, the whole sentence. I hate myself because I believe I am useless. Say the whole thing. Say it proudly. I hate myself because I believe I am useless.
She said it.
Oh, all right. Very good. Well done. How did it feel saying it that way?
Oh, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. When you say it that way with that kind of energy, you are learning to transform negative energy into positive energy. You are understanding the belief is not real. It's just a game you're playing with yourself. And paradoxically, we have just proven together you are obviously not useless because you just served as a beautiful example for how to change that idea. So even while saying a negative sentence and saying it in a positive way, you have automatically erased that belief, neutralized it. Do that with all your negative beliefs in that way, and you will laugh yourself to a higher vibration. And as soon as you do it more and more that way, you'll begin to realize you don't really hate yourself anymore. In fact, you will probably begin to believe you're pretty funny. And you will learn to love even the things that make you feel hate because you know you can transform them in positive ways. Does all of this help you?
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I hope you all understand that you are applauding for each other. Next question.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
I have three issues or topics.
3 issues, all right. Maybe they are all the same issue in 3 different disguises.
Hey, let me share 3 all first.
All right.
In the morning, you said we are going to connect each other, and the internet becomes one internet all around the earth.
Eventually.
In future, we may be able to communicate with plants and animals and all the beings on this earth.
Yes, well, I mean, you can really do that now, but I'm just saying that more and more that will happen as more people realize you can do it now.
In order to communicate with those beings, how can we do that? Like we use energy, and is it energy level communication?
It is, and it is controlled in a sense by your imagination and your heart, your feeling. If you just be very, very quiet and listen and stay within your joy, energy, you will know what plants and animals and other life is saying. Bit by bit, more and more, you will understand more clearly. But in many ways, some of the communication will be very basic and fundamental. In other words, they would probably say much the same thing that you would say in a similar circumstance. So, you can learn to identify with them more strongly by knowing that you have many things in common. If you are walking in the sun on a beautiful day and feeling gratitude, very often an animal or a plant will be communicating and feeling just about exactly the same idea. You can be open to the fact that in many circumstances they will say something similar to you, and the more you pay attention to the fact that they are saying similar things, you'll become more sensitive to all the things they are saying, and then sometimes you might hear something a little new or a little different that they might say to you. Remember the Atlantean technique of imagining that you actually are the animal or are the plant, and then just feeling how you imagine they would feel if you were them. You have to identify with them in their kind of world and their perception of the world, the way they would see it. Most animals and plants know that everything in the world is connected. They know that everything is one. They live in the moment and are very happy and grateful to be who they are, and ecstatic to express the gifts that they have been given to share with everyone. The flowers are very grateful that they have the gift to share with everyone of color and smell and provide nectar for bees. They are very grateful to be this expression of creation. And when the bees take their nectar, or when you enjoy their color or appreciate their smell, then you are in relationship with them at that moment. And they are just as happy to be seen as they are, in that sense, to give off the color. They can see the appreciation in your energy, and that makes them feel your love even more strongly and allows them to use that love to bloom. And the more you appreciate what the flowers do for you, the more you bloom. And in that moment, you are in relationship with and in love with that flower, and they are in love with you. Does this make sense to you?
Thank you.
Remember that when you are in love, you will generally know what the other one you are in love with is feeling and thinking. You create a mutual telepathic state of similar vibration. And when you identify strongly and have the same vibration, then you have the same feelings and thoughts at the same time. So telepathy is not really just reading someone else's mind, it's being so much like them for a moment that you have the same thoughts and feelings at the same time. You know what they are thinking and feeling. The more you are in love with yourself, the more you are in love with everything in life, the more you will know everything in life, and they will know you. You do not need to feel silly that other people will look at you and think, oh, look at her talking to those flowers. What's wrong with her? She's crazy. They don't know what they're missing. Does that help you?
Yes, my understanding of what you said this morning is once we achieve a global level, one network or one communication,
Yes.
then we may go beyond universal level communication.
Yes, you will be able to tap into many different dimensions of consciousness and spirit and learn many different kinds of things. There will come a time on your planet where communication between what you call the living and the dead will be very normal, taken for granted. You will do it all the time. Communication between the living and the dead will take place all the time. The barrier between physical life and spirit life, those who have died, you will not, in a sense, feel like you have lost them. You'll communicate with them all the time. They are in spirit. Just don't let them make you call collect. You know I am joking, yeah? Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Thank you. Another topic, education.
Education.
You said education will become more experiential.
Yes.
When you say experiential, are we to experience vibrations?
I mean literally. You will experience vibrations, yes, but in other words, to use an example, let us say you want to learn about the idea of a sailing ship. You will not just sit in a class and have someone teach you all the things about sailing ships. You will go on a sailing ship. You will take a sail. Do you understand what we mean?
Okay, yes. My last question. When I allow myself feeling excited, then the similar vibration objects or circumstances will attract to me.
Yes, like vibration to like vibration, yes. It's all physics, that's how it works. Does that help you?
Yes, I wanted to ask that, and you answered already.
Yes, thank you.
I really got that point.
All right.
You answered my question
Fine.
already.
For another question.
Hello.
And are you good day?
I've been your long-term fan since your first session, open session in Tokyo.
All right, well, you, in that sense, are stars to all of us, and we are your fans.
Thank you. I feel honored.
So are we.
After I met you for the first time, our the religious life totally changed.
Yes. It will often do so.
I read 3 books already, many times, and there are underlines with red color and any colors.
Very
and it's
creative, very artistic.
And I gave the same copy to all my employees, and I also say this is a new idea, but this is the idea we are going to head for.
All right.
And even though I think I understand your viewpoint written in your book and through the sessions, I still feel that I'm not completely free. I feel something, life is a hardship.
All right. Are you sure you're not confusing challenge with hardship? Because if you judge a challenge to be negative, it will be experienced as a hardship. So you have to be cautious that you are not taking something that might be representative of your excitement and judging it in a way so that it makes it difficult for you to tell that it's your excitement. Be more specific about what this so-called hardship is.
The circumstances of my company and conditions of whole Japan. It's not only me, but whole nation is experiencing this similar hardship, I think.
Yes, well, define the hardship. Be specific.
Like in producing industry, many companies are moving to China,
Yes.
and Japan, people are losing their jobs or
Yes.
opportunities.
Well, they are being given opportunities to look at new ideas too. You are creating the foundation of a 21st century company. You need to also expand your vision of exactly where your company can have impact and the different kinds of things you can do in different ways than have ever been done before. Be perpetually excited and creative and imaginative to flow with the changes in a positive way and make them work for you instead of assuming that they are working against you. By looking at these kinds of changes as a hardship, what you are saying is that you are buying a negative belief that these kinds of changes must bring hardship instead of creating a positive belief about the changes. Remember that even if someone else chooses to do something for a negative reason, you will only be affected by what they do in a positive way if you stay within your centered vibration, even if their original intention was to do something negative. So if you are the captain of your ship and you are creating a 21st century crew, you must learn to navigate through these waters of changes by being able to see new lands where no other people can see them. If you are helping to instill these 21st century principles in your employees, then ask them to share all together, to utilize their collective imagination and come up with new ideas that you may not have thought of before for how your company can expand to ride out the changes in a smooth and creative way and even perhaps expand in the face of these changes. You must be willing to steer your ship into new waters, unexplored waters, before you will discover new lands. Does that make sense to you?
Thank you. And by the way, I am an engineer, basically. And in the past century, I've been searching for a physical abundance. But in new century, I would like to add love to this physical abundance.
Yes, go ahead, add love to it.
And I would like to put this as a motto of my company, my business. Is this correct?
Yes. You see, the idea is, like we have talked about the new communication and new information and new education, this is a perfect opportunity for you to act as an example that there must also be new understanding of how to express business. For in love, all things are accomplished effortlessly. Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.